Hi there, students. Bud, a bud, a noun. Also to bud as a verb, and even as an adjective, budding. Okay, a bud is a small growth from a plant or the stem or from the wood of a tree that will develop into a leaf or a flower. So now when spring starts, you will start to see buds on the trees. A bud is a flower that hasn't opened yet. It's not fully developed. A rosebud, so you can just see it and it's about to open. A flower bud. Yeah? So as a verb, to bud, it means to begin to grow or to produce buds. But I think very often we use the adjective budding to say that somebody is studying to be something. They're learning a profession. They've not finished yet. They are still immature, if you like. They're not completely developed yet. So her son is a budding doctor. She is a budding psychotherapist. He's a budding chef. It's a metaphor, like the flower is going to open, yeah, but it hasn't opened yet. It hasn't finished developing yet. So it's showing that they're going to become this, what will be in the future. And then we also have the phrase in the bud. So you could say he's a lawyer in the bud. He's developing himself to become a lawyer. Yeah? He's not fully developed yet. He's a teacher in the bud. He's a president in the bud, a budding president or a budding politician. And then we have this phrase to nip something in the bud, to put an end to an idea or a habit at its initial stage, to stop something before it's fully formed. To nip, it's like to bite or to break off. So it is a good idea to nip bad habits in the bud, to stop them before they develop into fully blown habits. Let's see, if a plant has too many buds, it's very often a good idea to nip some of these off before they develop, so that the ones that are left can develop properly. Or maybe the bud is pointing in the wrong direction. It's going to grow somewhere where you don't want it to grow. So you nip it off. You nip it in the bud. And that's the idea of this bud. So you nip off the buds. It's a good idea it's a good thing to nip this in the bud before it becomes more serious. We need to nip this problem in the bud. So what about some other meanings of bud? Well, bud can also refer to a type of cannabis, or it can also refer to bud meaning short for buddy. Hey bud, what are you doing tonight? Yeah, buddy is short, means friend. And I guess as well, a bud, they always use this for Budweiser beer. Yeah, I think it's probably trying still to grow into a real beer. Okay, so a bud, an undeveloped flower, an undeveloped shoot. There's a little growth, but it hasn't developed yet. So I could quote Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath too short a date. Okay, so bud, the part growing. You also have taste buds. These are the receptors on your tongue for the different flavours. Okay, so a budding teacher, somebody who's going to be a great teacher, they're not developed yet, a teacher in the bud, and then to nip something in the bud to stop it before it develops properly. Okay, so what about formality? Well, I think a bud, a rosebud as a flower, this is 5 formality. There are beautiful buds on the azalea at the moment. 5 formality, you can use it anywhere. I think a budding profession, he's a budding policeman. This I would give it a 4 in formality. It's a little bit informal. Maybe more formally, he's studying, he's going to become a policeman. And then this phrase, to nip something in the bud, I would also give a 4 in formality. To stop something before it develops. And then the next question, origin. Well, we have a Middle English word, bude, meaning a bud or a seed pod. And I think this probably goes the whole way back to Indo-European. So a bud, to bud, a little growth on a plant that's going to develop into a leaf or a flower bud, a piece of the flower or an immature flower that's going to open, a rose bud. Then you have somebody is a budding pastry chef. They are going to become that. They are going to develop into that. A pastry chef in the bud with the same meaning. And then to nip something in the bud to stop it before it becomes hardened and maybe hardcore. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bud, budding, in the bud, nip something in the bud.